Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. It's almost my birthday soon, and I got a whole bunch of parts, pretty much all for the Dodge. Actually, I think they all are for the Dodge. Just to make it run better. Because I've been having problems, like, Aiden's here as well. We were driving around a little bit, and we went to go get lunch, and pulling out of where we went to go get lunch, the engine started to do its overheating misfire thing, where the cylinders will essentially just start shutting themselves off, and it makes it really hard to run. It's getting annoying. My idle is way too high, so when you put itself in the gear, you essentially get launched back through the seat. I don't really remember what else. I don't know. I got a few parts. Over here by the Datsun. Oh yeah, and it's also really loud, so I got some Thrush, I think it was Hush Thrush mufflers. Got 2 of them. And got a whole bunch of parts. I got map sensor, package for the map sensor, an idle air control valve, and a throttle position sensor. And I also got a brand new coil and all new spark plug leads, because I don't remember if I've ever showed it, but I broke 2 of them by accident. So these are all new. And I also got Rock Auto sticker, a Rock Auto magnet. Dave's Chrysler. It can go next to the Jeep and the repeat of the Jeep. I got them, found them both in the same box. Making a total of 10. But now, I had to start working on everything, and hopefully it'll run a little better by the time we're done. So I'm going to start by taking the air filter off the Dodge, and we can start pulling parts off. So we'll be back then. Okay, we ended up having to take the intake off, or I don't know what you call it, because the screws that it used, wherever I put them, right here, it's those really funny star-shaped ones. You know, the ones that instantly strip no matter what. It was kind of working okay. I used this one here, but the problem is all my tools suck. So it just broke the bit right in half. That's the second bit I tried. So we decided to use a Dremel and just cut a line straight through so I can use a flathead. And that's how I'm getting all of them off, because each single one stripped, and they all use the exact same thing. So, just got this off. Now, if I reverse my screwdriver, just use my hammer. Cool. Man, as good as new. Cool. I'm gonna take off the other ones now, and I'll be back. Hopefully they'll be less painful than that one. Alright, we got all the pieces off. Had to cut each individual screw. Some came off easier than others. Funnily enough, these were actually like one of the hardest ones to take off, even though they're like ½ an inch long in total. Those were like the easiest ones. These ones were really hard too. But they all came off, and couldn't find any replacement screws, so they're going back in. But this time they're going to be cleaned off, and they're going to have oil on them, so they don't ever corrode. And I got Aiden cleaning the inside of the bores, because they're pretty bad. You can see that's what it used to look like. That's what it looks like now. There was a bit of backfiring going on, so when he's done that, start putting on the new parts that are over here. These 3. So, be back when we get those on. Through the power of friendship and vegetable oil, we managed to get all the bits off and the new ones on. They all are the same part. Whether they actually work the same is beyond me. Hopefully they work as they should. I put oil on pretty much everything. The gasket where the intake mates on, or yeah, where it seals around to this. I put oil on all of the screws, oil on all the vacuum lines, all of the bolts, of course, just to stop any rust for when I inevitably have to take this off again. And yeah, everything's hooked up, and I was about to throw the air filter on, but my gasket, my 8 million year old gasket kind of let go, so still gonna keep it on. It's not doing much anymore, but it's still there. That was better than nothing, I guess. And I'm gonna throw the air filter back on and see if it runs any different. Right, the air filter's back on. Now let's see if it actually runs any different. Did I do something wrong? I'm gonna take a little peek around. Okay, I think it's fine now. Well, it's running again. I think it was just the computer has to try and learn how to run with the new stuff. Good design like that, man. Yeah. Oh, that's way better. Yeah, it'll probably just take the computer a little bit to learn. I'm gonna back away so you can actually hear me. It'll probably take the computer a little bit to learn. But so far, that's... I don't know why it didn't start. I guess it just had to realize what was happening. Because we did one start off camera, which went to full throttle immediately. Because it didn't know what it was doing. And now it's fun. So, I think I'm going to go on a little drive and let the computer learn as much as it wants to. And I'll be back when I'm ready to start poking with something else. It's the next day. I went on a little ride and it ran different. It idled way higher, but before I really focus on solving those problems, I'm going to replace the other parts. Got the coil off. It only took about an hour, and I crushed my hand while doing so. There's one bolt. What's left of one bolt. I don't know where the other half it went. Here's the coil that was still running. I don't quite know how these work, but I don't think that's how it's supposed to be. Ryan's here helping me. And yeah, I don't think that's just how it's supposed to be. Couldn't get the bolts off, so I had to take the entire bracket off, and now I get to put the new coil on and put this back on. So I can't wait to do that, and then I'll move on to plug wires here. And I'll be back when that stuff's done. Got the new coil on. I made sure to douse everything in oil so it never seizes up again. And hopefully that'll work a little better. So now I have to replace spark plug wires because they're barely holding on. That one was the better one. Brian's still breaking it down in the corner. And there's one right over in the back. If it would focus. It's taped up too. They're so frail. So now I get to have fun to replace them because the distributor is right in the back between the computer and the blower motor. So I'm gonna have a fun time doing that. We got all new plug wires on. Shut up, Ryan. We got all new plug wires on. It only took, well, that took like an hour. It wasn't fun, but...
Started yesterday.
Yeah. We got all new wires replaced. We had an extra for some reason, ignored them all on the ground. They gave us an extra. I don't actually know what this is for. Because there's 10 spark plug there's 10 wires in total. One of them was for the coil, the other 8 was for the engine. No idea what the other one was for. But got that all together, and hopefully it'll run. So I'm gonna put you on the stand and we'll see if it actually does. Like it's not struggling?
It's not vibrating. Like it doesn't shake as much as that noise. No.
Cool. It still turns on. That's better than what I thought. I don't know. I guess I get to drive it around a little bit. See if it's any better. We need to see if it actually drives any better now. So I'll be back when we're back. It's a few days later. Drove it around a little bit. And it's better. I ended up trying to tackle the high idle issue on my own. And by on my own, I mean I messaged the people on Dodge Forum to help me with it. Because that's how I got it running originally. They said that there's a gasket called a Plenum gasket or whatever it is, on the base of the intake. They said that's notorious for going out. So I ordered a kit last night for the entire intake manifold, and won't be here for a little while, but in the meantime I want to bring this into the garage so I can at least start taking things off without having to worry about dirt or rain getting in, because being under the carport, it's not that protected. But I got Aiden here to help me. And what I want to do is probably going to take the computer off and just push it in. I also want to drain out all the coolant, because the second we take that off, there's going to be coolant coming out. And yeah, I also want to do a radiator flush, just clean out everything. So I'll pop back in a little bit and show what's going on. It took a little while, but we got it out. We had to move it under its own power because we're too weak and the car is way too heavy. But we washed out all of the radiator. It went from like a nice orange, like a burnt orange color, to like brown to kind of like clear, like murky water. There's the hose we used, and yeah, it's a lot better now. I'm still probably going to clean it out a little bit more. And we managed to get it inside. Open it up. There's not a lot of space. There's not a lot of space at all. Along the sides we have, what'd you say that was, like a foot of space?
Yeah.
Not even. My foot's 11.5 inches and I can't even fit in there. So that size is small. This side's a little larger. Between the garage door and here, that's like, say 2 feet. That's like a solid 14, 15 inches. Around the back, it's far worse. I can't even get over on that side now. I had to jump over before. So yeah. So it's a lot larger in here than what I originally anticipated. But it fits. To be fair, we did fit a 53 Mercury in here for years. And we had about the same amount of room. So yeah. And now that that's out, or now that this in here, pop the hood. Where we took the computer off, well, we tried to, but it's a little too heavy, so we had to plug it back in. And now I can just start ripping everything off the intake. And that'll probably be like a week-long job. So I'll probably just stop and show progress every once in a while. And get a little bit of help. It's 2 days later. We got the Dodge lifted up. Don't comment on the safety of this. I assure you it is safe. 2 cinder blocks should be able to hold the car. I'm not going to touch that anymore. Just ripping things off the engine. I got the distributor off, and I've just been struggling to take this entire intake manifold off. Yeah, I found out why. There was apparently 6 bolts. I thought there was only 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th one or 6th one. Because it is back in the engine. You can see it right on the corner there. Right there. That was completely covered in grease. I thought it was just a lump of grease and just dirt. Until I rubbed my hand over it and found out it was a bolt. So this can now come off. Kind of. The problem is it's still a cast piece and I'm not taking off any of the accessories because I'm scared they'll break. So I might need some help to get that off, but in the meantime, I'm glad that it can come off now. And I also want to redo all of the wiring around it, just sort it out. And other than that, I gave myself a nice amount of space in here so I can work on the exhaust pipe. That's quite a patch there. I found out the Datsun's the exact same way, how the exhaust is hodgepodge together. Before, like, right on that turn, it's like 4 different pieces on the Datsun. Those bolts look like they should be easy to take out. So I might start tinkering with that soon. But it'll be a little bit of work before I can still get everything off. I don't know, I'll continue with something. But, yeah. I'll probably stop back in tomorrow and show you what I'm up to. It's the next day, and I just got the exhaust off. It's pretty short. Weighs a lot more than I expected. It actually crushed my arm when it fell off. Weighs probably like 40, 50 pounds maybe. Apparently it had a Flowmaster. And there's not really much else about it. It's in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 1, 2. I can't count for some reason. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. I don't know, there's not much else to say about it. I gotta reuse this part over here. Pull up a chair. I'm gonna reuse this pipe just because that's where the oxygen sensor is. And, well, where the inlet is. It had a blown exhaust gasket. You can kind of see the dark spot there. Where it spans from there to there. Don't know what happened to the other bit. Like, only 1/2 of it fell out, so I think it's gone. But I'm gonna cut it right where that inlet is. I'm gonna reuse that, and I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do. I think I'm going to cut a little piece of the pipe off there and just extend the muffler to go back a little bit, because I noticed it was touching one of the cross members, but if I move it like that far or that much that far back, I can't speak to either, that far back, it'll avoid the cross members. So I'm gonna do that, and yeah, I guess from there I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do, because I'm gonna reuse quite a bit. I'm gonna reuse that end bit just because I want the exhaust to come out the back and like curve down, because I don't want it to come straight out. I find that's a bit weird. I might reuse this middle piece just to go over the axle. Hard to say. I don't know what I'm quite doing yet, but I think I'm gonna start just by cutting that off and starting from there. It's the next day, and I just finished welding on that last little bit there. I got quite a bit done. I started off by cutting this bit off, welding a little tube on, welding the muffler to that. Then last night I marked this pipe up, and today I cut it and I just finished welding it. It's still hot. So it's coming along pretty good. You can definitely see where the old pipe ends and the new one begins. But other than that, it's looking pretty good. It's coming along well. And I figured out what I'm going to do with my going over the axle dilemma. Because I have to get over that. I also have to clear the where you put the spare tire in the trunk, but that should be fairly easy. Apparently Ryan has a pipe bender, so I'm going to use that just to make the little bump over the axle. And hopefully that should work good, but for now this is about as much as I can do for this exhaust pipe. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the other one and start working on that just to get it to the same point as this. Because once I get over the axle, it's like, I don't even know. Because by the time I get out, or once I level out from getting over the axle, I'll be like halfway through that wheel well, so it'll just be like 2-3 feet of pipe left. And then once that's done, I look at exhaust hangers. Probably just reuse a lot of them. But yeah, so I think I'm just going to take off the other one and start working on it. And if I have any issues, I'll stop back and show. It's a couple days later. I moved away from working on the exhaust for a little bit because my gasket kit came in. So with the help of Aiden, I cut through the last line that was holding the intake on, and I got it off. We were doing a little bit of cleaning. I still got to block off those entrances. We haven't done much because we've been working on the intake manifold and the plenum. See, there shouldn't be oil in here, and yet there is everywhere. There's quite a lot. This is the plate. It was covered in oil, like every side of it was just drenched in oil. I actually had to chisel it off this side, and I didn't record that because I forgot to. I then remembered to record it and then still forgot to, so I'm getting to it now after it's all clean. But that's the plate, and we think the gasket failed in a couple spots because those are 2 wet spots there. It didn't die. It was on the ground, frozen. I just revived it. Oh. Put them in the engine. Okay. There's a wet spot there. It's bad over there. And I'm pretty sure everywhere is just a wet spot. So, there's a throttle body. So now, I guess I'm just going... Oh, that's where the bolt was. I'll throw that in the pan. Got it. Trip over the exhaust. And now I just got to clean up that and wipe down the inside, and that's the last really important part. I'm also going to clean down both the where it seals, and I'm pretty sure right here has to be cleaned. So there's just going to be a lot of cleaning, but hopefully some point all of this will be ready to put back on. So we'll be back then. All right, so we got the intake ready. We got cleaned up, plenum back together. That's all clean. I might vacuum out the ports, maybe. Might just a little. We just got done vacuuming the inside of the engine out. Where's my light? It's just drilling over it a second ago. Right down here. Yeah. We don't know what that says. That looks like it says HAL. I can't read that. But yeah, the engine's all cleaned out. And now I think I'm just going to get the gaskets ready and start putting everything back together. There's a... Hold on. If I zoom in there, there's like this little thing protruding right there. That little stud like right under the distributor, right there. There's slots, like 4 slots for them on the engine, but there's only that one. So I don't know what happened to that, but that's how it was, so I guess it's fine. Yeah, so it's all ready to get put back together, so we'll be back when hopefully that's on. It's the next day, and last night we got the intake fully on, and I hooked up a couple things, not many things. Heater core line, throttle. I think something else. I don't know. There's still a lot that has to be reconnected, like the alternator, the thermostat housing line that has to be put down a little bit. You can see it's kind of tall. I think I don't even know what that is. All of the injector lines. Oh yeah, I hooked up some vacuum tubes. Just a lot of stuff has to be hooked up. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time just going through everything, reconnecting stuff, and sorting out the wiring. And I'll be back hopefully when it's all done. It is 2 days later. I lost the clip from yesterday, which just explained how I got this exhaust pipe all made and how everything under the hood is all together. There wasn't all that much, but I don't know how I lost it either, so yeah, I made that exhaust pipe all yesterday. And I also got everything back together under the hood. I taped up a lot of wires. Just things around there. Just cleaned up loose wires out back where the computer wires are. So just a little bit of cleaning for under the hood. And then under the car, I have the first exhaust being mocked up. It's on there right now. Looks pretty good. That should be the height it rides on. And I also got the first bit angled up to go over the axle. So I think I left off saying that I'm just going to make the exhaust pipe get around that. And the way I'm going to do that is... It's really cramped in here. That's why the camera angle's going on everywhere. I'm going to use this bend here. So I'm going to cut it off like around here. I'm going to reuse that pipe just to get that bend over. And then I have to make a little piece to go in between this piece here because I have to cut it to make it longer. And by the end of it all, I should have 7 inches of pipe left, if all my math is right. So that's pretty much where I left off. And I might be able to get a little bit more work done today. I kind of doubt it though. But yeah, that's what's happening. So next thing I gotta do is cut the old exhaust pipe off and get that piece on. And once that's on, I'm essentially done that side. So I'll be back whenever I make progress. It's a couple days later, and the first exhaust pipe is 100% done. Now, I'll accept criticism about how it turned out. It's aiming a little bit towards the middle of the car, but I'm fine with it being coming out the back of the car. Looks a bit janky because I didn't have a pipe bender, and I cut everything manually myself, but it holds on. We had to improvise a bit for the exhaust hangers, but all is well. We tested it to make sure it won't hit the axle, and it doesn't. And even if it does, it still has like another 1.5 to 2 inches of room to go up, so that should be all good. And we're now starting to work on the other half, which is this piece. So I'm going to mock it up and see where I have to start bending, and hopefully this side should be easier. So I'll get into it so we can finish it a little bit quicker. It's a couple days later, and we just got the last bit of the muffler welded up, or the last bit of the exhaust welded up. It's a little shorter than the last one, actually. We just got the exhaust hangers welded on. Where's the other one? Over here. And now it's time to put it on the car and hopefully get in for a little drive tonight. I gotta put some water in the coolant just because I forgot to buy coolant today, so that'll be last thing I get to do. But I'm hoping I can drive it tonight because the other exhaust, well, yeah, the other exhaust is on there now. So I'll be back once that's, well, hopefully off the blocks and back on the ground. And hopefully it'll only be a few minutes. Everything is finally ready. Cinder blocks are right here. It's I think 10:30 at night. It's about 10:30 at night, and Yeah. It's all ready. Only thing left to do is to put some coolant in the engine, let it warm up, and run through that. We're just going to use water for now. Like I said, I forgot to buy coolant. So I'm going to use water for now. And it's also a good way I can flush out the radiator before I put coolant in. And I think real quick, I'm going to restart the PCM. Or the ECU, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm just going to start it, scoot it ahead, and fill it with water while it's running. So, just going to hop in and start it now. All right, first start being on the ground. Oh, it sounds way better. Oh, it's actually really good.
So quiet.
It's really good now. Okay, we're just going to scoot it forwards a little bit. Oh, I was going to say you don't even feel drive. Probably help if I was in drive. This is way better. Do you want to get out and make sure I don't run over the hose?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this sounds way better. Just gonna fill it with coolant and it should be better. It's 2 days later and I drove this to school yesterday and just got a feel for it. Everything works fairly good. Problem is I don't remember if I showed this. The suspension in the back crushed down hard on that exhaust pipe for some reason. Other side's completely fine, it's where it was. This side crushed down really hard though for some reason. So I have to take the exhaust pipe off again and lift that up just a bit so it can clear the axle again. And I get to do that all by myself because Aiden's busy. So that shouldn't be that hard. I have the car pulled up here because it's too much of a pain to back it into here. And I only have to work on that one side, so I'm probably just going to lift it up with a jack. And that shouldn't take long. And in other news, the idle fixed itself after I restarted the PCM a couple times. So now it actually idles down. So when I go into gear, I don't get shot straight through the seat. It actually just goes into gear. It idles. Everything's so much better now. Because outside is like... Outside, this is as quiet as I wanted it to be originally. Yeah, I don't know what happened to that exhaust. It's kicked up too. It was like the exact same as the other one. I don't know. Anyway, that's what I'm going to be working on. And I also have a fuel leak. Somewhere, yeah, like right there. I don't know what happened. I think there was just like a little pinhole in the fuel line. So I'm going to patch that up too. Overall, it's just some more tedious stuff. But it should be fairly easy to do. So I'm just going to get into it. I'm going to jack the car up and I'll start with the exhaust pipe. Or the gas line, wherever comes first. And yeah, hopefully I'll be back and it should be finished by today. So I'll see you then. It's a little while later. It's been like 3 hours. That fuel line, that was one hell of a job. Hold on. It rotted through this side. Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh. It rotted through that side and oh, there's a sneeze. It rotted through that one side, and I spent like the last hour cutting it and repairing it. It's fine now. There's no leaks as far as I can tell. And the exhaust is also on there. It's better now. Still not sure what happened to the suspension the first time. It's fine now. That was actually really easy to do. And now I am going to go have some supper because I'm starving. And after that, I think I'm going to drive this to town and get some gas because I'm pretty sure I have a little bit on left. Because the gas gauge reads backwards because I just got incredibly unlucky. Also, the idle fixed itself. I'm pretty sure I said that already. Well, look how quiet it is now. So nice. Anyway, I'm gonna go eat and hopefully get some gas in this. It's a couple days later. Dodge is parked back where it always was. And everything's working okay. The brakes are making a little bit of a clunking sound. And they don't work that well. They never did work well. Stopping was always kind of a luxury in this. But other than that, I'm still going to drive it a little bit. I'm just going to have to do a brake job soon. Or at least look at that wheel because it gets hot sometimes. Other than that, I'm just putting on a couple accessories here. Because I remembered I still had some extra stuff. I found that in the back shed. It's just a little turn knob. Because I thought it's a big steering wheel, and I actually had one of these on the lawnmower until it ripped through the wheel, and I used it to mow cemetery. But I think this would actually be a really fun idea. And I kind of like the way it looks. I think I might just take like a rubber tube and put it around just so it like doesn't damage the steering wheel. But other than that, I do kind of like that. And I have one more thing that I got for my birthday that I completely forgot about. Aiden's also here. I have some curb feelers. They're brand new. I actually just pulled them out of the box because I forgot about them and I tripped over the box. So all I should have to do is, I might just look at a picture, like a reference picture, just make sure I put it on right. But these should just mount on like the corner of the fender. I'm gonna zoom back in. These should mount on like the corner of the fender, I think. And then you just hook up the ends of the feelers to this little hole. I got some lock washers for it, just to make sure if camera focus. Whatever. There's little lock washers on this, just for a little bit of bad safety. And yeah, I'm gonna figure out how to get those hooked together and hopefully get them on the car. And that's the last bit of work for my birthday video on the Dodge, which has only taken, my birthday was May 13th. It's like June 3rd. Yeah, June 3rd. So it's been a little while. But yeah, hopefully I'll get these on and I'll be back in a little bit. It's about 5 days later. I've been really busy. I haven't been able to record, but curb feelers are on. They look pretty good. The car's so wide I got it back so far away to see it. They look pretty good. I drove this car to my prom and the curb feelers do work, because I think that one started to hit the curb, and I heard it and I knew when to straighten out, so that was nice. I took the steering wheel knob off because within 3 minutes of the first drive, the bolt went through my hand. You can see there's a little bit of skin torn right there in the middle. Because I turned the wheel and it kind of snapped back, and the bolt, it was just sharp at the end, so it cut straight through my hand. So I took that off because it was a bit annoying. And other than that, there's not really anything else I want to do. I'm a little sick right now, and I'm very tired, so I'm just going to end this off here. There's more stuff I have to do, but I'll save that for different videos, because this one's already going to be pretty long from what I can tell. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.